What XYO, XCN, and QNT holders don't know. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet. Always starting with Bitcoin, downward trend line, roughly 3 touches to it. I believe we will have one more push. If we hold above 108, it may be some consolidation before pushing up, but I believe sometime within these next 2 weeks, we'll start seeing either a quick retracement and then that consolidation before pushing up with interest cuts or rate cuts. That'll be happening. I think it was the 19th or something like that. Moving on over to Tornado again. If you watch my other video, this is one I've been recommending. It is now $14, and we had our entry at $7.50. So very nice increase in price, very healthy market. CM Guppy is pushing this thing up and up. You can trade it on MEXC. No one has used that reference link that's in the description below. And if you use that reference link, you get 10 USDT free, which you can use to buy Tornado Cash. Keeping in mind Tornado Cash's all-time high is around $459. So we are at a very, very low price point. And one free Tornado Cash is definitely worth it if you use that reference link. Moving on over to Doge real quick. Support heavy at this 21-cent mark. It does not want to go lower than that 21-cent mark. Even if Bitcoin pulls back, we are most likely going to be holding above this area before pushing back up to 24 cents. So if you have not entered Doge, not financial advice on any of this, but it's looking better and better and stronger with that supporting over the 200 EMA. Aerodrome. I'm not sure if I did this on the other one. I did do this on the other one. Flare. I'm bringing Flare up on this one because it is a very good entry point at where it is at. It pushed over a breaking downward trend line, pushed up, tested this as support, came back, tested it yet again as support, which we would have expected with QNT, but with Flare, it tested that lower point, tested off the 200 EMA, just like QNT, and now I believe we're going to start seeing some more support, pushing it up towards 2 cents, then back to this previous high at 2.6 cents, and then 618 retracement is all the way up here at 0.38. Beyond that, I don't think this chart fully shows everything, but it does look very, very healthy for an entry point on Flare, and they are also partnering with XRP, where you can stake your XRP, and if you own Flare and XRP, I'm sure there's benefits to that as well. Compound consolidation, trying to hold support on this upward trend line, which we will be adjusting, but overall, this is the stronger support. It is pretty far away from where this is at $42, but if we do get a 618 retracement from this area, we are looking back up towards $51, which is around this downward trend line. And if we break that downward trend line, potentially test it as support before pushing up to $61 and beyond. And the all-time high for Compound is $1,000, currently at 42. Anywhere from 42 to 39. Great buying opportunities for Compound, as it has a tendency to move very, very quickly as soon as it holds support over that 200 EMA. This is $48, and it went to $140 within a few days. Pretty substantial. Moving on over to QNT. QNT did similar things to like I was talking about with Flare, pushed up over a downward trend line, came down, tested it as support, pushed up, came down, tested the 200 EMA, and we are getting a lot of stability on QNT within this area. When you invert this, you would look at something more so like this as the downward trend line, holding support over this 200 EMA and this trend line right here. We could start seeing it push upwards towards the 124 area, going back to normal. If Bitcoin drops, we may see it test this line once more. We may push even a little lower to shake some people out and grab some more liquidity before pushing right back up over the 200 EMA, ultimately needing to break this downward trend line. And that would be the third touch, which the next real resistance would be here at 124, but it may blow past that up to this previous high right at 134 before getting a little bit of sell-off from people who had to wait out this entire period before ultimately it takes off yet again. So keep compound in your bag. It's definitely a swing trade, but it has some major potential for the upside. I always say diversify, because while this is consolidating and doing its thing sideways, there's other coins that can be taking off, such as DIMO went up like 100% last week, and you could be using some of the money from this coin in another coin, instead of just having it all in one bag, and vice versa. The money you make from that coin, put it in the swing trade, dollar cost average. BNT holding this downward trend line as support. May we see a further pullback, potentially to 0.5? Yes, that's a possibility. The 200 EMA is down here at the 618 retracement at 65 cents. But if this holds support, we're looking at the next resistance being off this downward trend line at around 78 cents. But BNT is very, very healthy for what it looks like. Actually, I want to zoom out and look at the weekly. We are trying to build some support on the CM Guppy, and we are pushing closer and closer to this 200 EMA. When it gets over this previous high at 94 cents, excuse me, we could see it get over that 200 EMA at the same point and then take off towards $1.52. XCN, here we go. Watch this portion and then leave. So I still have this double bottom placed out. I believe we are going to see some liquidation on some people's accounts that have some sell stops within this area. And we are also going to have major buying opportunities for people who wanted to buy at this previous low. And we see that it was very stressful for a lot of people, thinking it would keep going lower and lower. And then it ultimately pushed way up within 2 days. It was a major pump. Was 234% in 2 days. 100% or more in a day is pretty insane. So that is definitely possible. Let's see, 100% or more with XCN, say from its low. Say we get some kind of shakeout even lower. And that's right there at the 618 Fibonacci. I did it a little bit lower, but 250 is right back up here at around 0.0275, and that can happen in 2 days. But it's got to do its consolidation, its sell-off, its healthy market retracement, getting that 200 EMA nice and weak for a run right across that. At the same time, it's touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to this trend line. It is weak, so whenever it comes back up, it has that potential to be pushing all the way up here before getting a little bit of a sell-off potentially. It may push all the way up to 0.04 or 0.049 before starting to sell off real quick. And we may have a little bit of a consolidation period before breaking that point and taking off. Or I could be completely wrong and we could just go haywire up to 18 cents, or I guess 10 cents first. But XCN at a penny, more or less, anywhere within this area is a good entry. If you have a bag stacked, you can always stack more for that nice push up to break that red downward trend line. Can happen very, very quickly, as we've seen right here, 2 or 3 days, about 256%. Very, very possible. It is filling out a very nice W pattern. So with that being said, those of you who are just here for XCN, like and subscribe if you haven't. We're moving over to XYO. XYO still trying to build support off this upward trend line, still a sleeping giant. It's got this downward trend line to break more or less, and when it gets over this area, then all it has to do is consolidate right over that 200 EMA, and then once it's holding its support in consolidation over that, we will most likely see a massive spike, similar to like what we've seen in the past. A little bit of volume will go a long way. That will be when altcoin season is kicking in. And if you have not bought an XYO, it's highly recommendable, but it is not financial advice. I had placed out these boxes prior. I believe we are right within this area. When we break a downward trend line and get over the CM guppy and 200 EMA, it's a lot to be considering that it needs to be getting over. But once that consolidates and pushes right into this pressure point, we are going to see either a break. I mean, I don't believe it's going to the downside. And I believe that break will be pushing up towards this fair value gap at 0.01. And then the next area roughly within this area, about 0.017. And then ultimately finishing out a cup and handle would be at 0.024. Once that happens, then it has a lot higher to go. So if you're holding XYO, like you reminded me, I forgot who it was, whoever commented. But XYO is definitely a major opportunity to make some substantial gains. And that person who had commented was Woozall. I hear you, Woozall. XYO is definitely a good bet. DIMO looks very healthy. Actually, this is in my other video. We're going to skip DIMO. Did BNT? I did BNT. Let's move back this way. Spell. It is also trying to hold support on this upward trend line. Ultimately, I want to wait for it to get over that 200 EMA and the downward trend line. I did IOTX, CTSI on the other. Floki, meme coin, tossing it in there. Cup and handle, potential pattern, filling out. So if we get some support off this black upward trend line on Floki and get over that 200 EMA, that's where you're going to be looking for your entry. It is a meme coin, but it is very, very cheap, moves very, very fast, and you can see some substantial gains. Some of my bigger gains have actually been in meme coins just from scalp trading, seeing the perfect entry and getting in and getting out, and it's not a bad bet. Did perpetual, near, want to pass near, LCX, Toshi, HR, Epic, Polygon. Yeah, that's it. So like and subscribe if you haven't. Reference for MEXC is in the description below. I'm going to do a short on how to do VPN if you want to use MEXC and be anonymous. And good luck. Have fun with it. I'll see you on the next one.